All right. See ya.
Okay, I had to, just so you know, I had to reclaim the host so I could do a couple of things in the background here, so you can have it back in just a second, Rena. I need to restart my YouTube. Although this is says it's going live on YouTube, it's going to a private room. This is our experiment in having a backup. We'll see if it works today. Okay.
I'm gonna button my shirt so I look respectable. Change.
And Eric, are you going to want any breakout rooms during this time?
Yes, ma'am. I've asked Lori to help me out with that. She's all set to go.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, it looks like we're recording. I'm going to start off. I see you nodding, Jim, Jory. We're ready to go.
Yep, we're
okay.
ready
Thumbs
to go.
up. Here we go. Thank you.
Should I reclaim host now, Jim, or leave it?
Yeah, go ahead. You can reclaim it now, and that'll get me off the hook.
Sure.
Okay,
Thanks,
so welcome everyone. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jory. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for being here to support Jim Mansky's new book, Pathways to Nonviolent Communication. Right now I'm feeling excited, relaxed, nervous, and excited and relaxed, and hope to contribute to needs for support, learning, growth, and maybe hopefully we'll have some fun and learning. We'll see. Each of the presentations in this event relate to one of the skills in this matrix, the Pathways to Liberation, Pathways to Nonviolent Communication. The tool was developed about a decade ago by Jory Mansky, Jake Gottwald, Jack Lehman, and Jim Mansky. The purpose of the matrix is to help support self-assessment of the skills and consciousness of nonviolent communication. In a few minutes, I'll be sharing my experience of taking ownership of one's feelings. But first, I want to say a few words about the Center for Nonviolent Communications. CNVC was started by Marshall Rosenberg and his colleagues more than 35 years ago to help make NVC more available to everyone that would like to learn it. Since then, CNVC has developed a network of over 700 certified trainers with more than 700 candidates in the pipeline offering NVC training around the world. And due to the effects of the global pandemic, CNVC has lost its primary source of income or sustainability because in-person international intensive trainings are on hold. So while they've made some adjustments, including some virtual intensive trainings, which we highly encourage you to attend, we still need your support to continue the mission and our mission. There are two ways you can support us right now. First, buy as many copies as you can joyfully purchase of this new book. And we're going to put the link in the chat for you in just a second here. The profits of all book sales will go to CNBC. Both Jim and Puddle Dancer Press are donating all the profits to support at CNBC. The books are only about $10 a piece, so they make great gifts for the upcoming holiday season. You know, you've got Diwali coming up, and there's only 1 billion people in India, so that should be about 10 billion in income for CNBC. If we can get everybody in India to buy a copy, or buy and give a copy, that'd be $20 billion. Anyway, and then second, so we're going to put that link. Jim or someone, could you put that link in the chat if you haven't already? There we go. Thank you. And then please consider becoming a monthly sponsor of CNBC, just like you subscribe to potentially, at least in the US, some sort of Netflix or something else, or you donate to your favorite cause, whatever it could be. It'd be great if you could do a monthly donation, and there's a link there for that. So thanks for your continuing support for all that you do to bring NVC, whether it is sharing these events or running your own trainings or donating your money, which is a great gift as well, your time, your money, or supporting our growth. Really, we really have a lot of gratitude for all of you who are attending, and also all of you who are supporting and living NVC. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start the formal part of my presentation. And let's see, can someone nod and tell me that they can see my presentation? There we go, thank you. I got thumbs up. Good, great, welcome. So I thought I'd try to put as many things on one slide as possible. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. That's not even the right slide. Here we go. We thought I'd put as many things. So taking ownership of one's feelings, and the tool that I'll introduce is what's mine and what's yours. And the nature of this particular metric is living in the knowledge that I alone cause my emotions, and my emotions are not caused by others. Having said that, I thought we would provide just a little bit of context to start that, which is a couple of assumptions that I like to start with, which is first, that everybody is doing the best they can all the time, and that actions are attempts to meet needs. These two are fundamental assumptions that I like to start with to help support my learning around this particular point. This particular item, this particular metric comes early in the matrix. So this is the entire matrix of all 28. You'll see that that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the fifth one in order there. And I'll explain the different levels in just a moment, from unskilled to integrated. But it also relates to feelings awareness. In order for you to take ownership of your feelings, you have to first have awareness that you have feelings. The second then is all of the skills often build on each other. Well, they are foundational, they are not necessarily linear, but they build on each other at the end to where we have this awareness of responsibility at the bottom, which is I have an awareness of my responsibility and potentially awareness of other people's responsibility. So these are key things to just keep in mind as we go forward. Oh, actually, I want to do this real quick before we go any further. I'm going to ask actually to do a little bit of a centering exercise. As Catherine mentioned, it is a good idea to breathe from time to time. So take a moment to just stand up, if you would. You can turn off your camera if you like. This is just going to take a couple minutes. So stand up if you would, and we're just going to move our arms a little bit. Hopefully you can stand up and stand back enough so that you can swing your arms, big arm circles, kind of like this. You can choose the direction you want.
Eric, there's a request for you to slow down a little bit.
I will slow down. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It also helps with the arm circles because you got tired fast. Okay, then switch directions. And feel free to move your body in any way which you like. I saw someone bending to the side, stretching their shoulders. Okay, now do some twists like this. I like to do this. So my arm is swinging, I look as far around to my back as I can. If you're like me, you've been sitting for about 3 hours now, if you're lucky. Okay, and one last thing, hopefully you have room for this. I like that these are reversing hugs. So what you do is you go like this, so that you're hugging yourself, but you're also kind of slapping your side, and you just reverse it each time. The reason I like to do this exercise is to become into the present moment with physical sensations, also hopefully creating a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of blood flow, because the sound of my voice might set you to sleep in the next half hour. So let's see what happens. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Go ahead and get comfortable again, wherever you're at. So in this matrix here, there are 4 levels, which we're going to explore now. We're going to talk about them. They are unskilled, awakening, capable, and integrated. And I'm just going to talk about them. So again, unskilled, awakening, capable, and integrated. So when we start out, we're unskilled. We actually have no knowledge of the skill, and we're unconsciously incompetent. We just don't know about it. So we can't do anything about it. In the awakening phase, we start to become aware of the skill. We're aware of the skill, and we become conscious of the fact that we don't have the skill. And then in the next phase, we start to become capable as we use effort, and we start to know that we're starting to learn how to do it. And in the final phase, the final level, we're naturally using the skill with ease and flow. So it's almost reflexive to use the skill. And the question then is, how does this apply specifically to taking ownership of one's feelings? So I'm going to ask for a couple of volunteers now to help me out. You'll be reading from the slides. So can I get 2 people to raise their hands and just do a little reading for me? Jennifer, and Jan. Perfect. So let's go with Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm going to have 2 boxes come up. If you could read out loud the next 2 boxes, I would appreciate it. So, and just quickly. So for unskilled, when you have no skill, this is what happens. So if you could go ahead and read that box, Jennifer.
Blaming, when feelings arise, credits or blames others, blames self, others, or external circumstances.
Thank you. Perfect. Perfect. So in that first phase, when we're unskilled, we're in a blame and shame mindset. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just what happens. And then the next phase, awakening. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Noticing and naming. Sometimes observes oneself blaming and criticizing, unclear how to take ownership of one's feelings.
Perfect. Thank you, Jennifer. That's exactly it. So in this phase, we now are able to notice our feelings, and we start to notice our feelings, and we start to name them. And just this is already can be a challenge. And this is where those lists of feelings and body sensations can be very important. We start noticing the feelings and naming the feelings. And at this point, we don't really know what to do with that, but just by naming those feelings, the scientific data shows that it can reduce our reactivity by as much as 50%, which is, pretty amazing, just naming it. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you for volunteering. Jan,
Yes,
I'm
Jan.
going to have you read the next. I'm going to have you read the next 2. So this next one is going to be capable. Let's see if we can get that to animate. There we go.
Practicing. Capable of noticing when triggered and uses that as a sign to self-connect.
Perfect, perfect. As we become more capable and we're noticing and naming our feelings, we now become capable of noticing when we're triggered. And now we're like, this is the point where I name the feelings. And now this is when I pull out my needs sheet. I develop a literacy for needs. And I start to self-connect. In addition to self-connecting around feelings, I look at my needs sheet and I try to identify what are my needs in this moment. This is the self-connection step. And then the next phase, we're going to go integrated. Oh, I'm losing that.
Living. There's something wrong with the first word.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the first word. Give me 1 second.
Comes from the understanding, emotional experience, emerges from the state of one's own and quality of.
It's living
One's
from the
own needs.
understanding.
Sorry, it's living from the understanding that one's emotional experience emerges from the state of one's own needs and quality of thinking. Thank you, Jan. Sorry, that was a little messed up there. Thank you. Good thing you have that really nice microphone there to make your voice sound even better than it does. Or maybe it's your true voice. Yeah, so this is the last time when we're integrated. It doesn't mean, so for me, I'm going to give some examples now. For me, what this means is we're living it, which it can be almost reflexive. Now, a couple things that are important to remember in the matrix. Whenever we use the matrix, it is a relative tool, which means it's relative to the relationships that you have in the moment, or the specific relationship you have in the moment, where you are physically with your needs and any other number of factors. But the matrix is always relational. So when you use the matrix, you're going to pick a specific relationship, whether it is a family member, a friend, a work person, or someone you don't know. And I'll go through that in a second. But the idea is you pick a specific person and a specific relationship and a specific situation. And it could be very different. So for me, for example, I tend to be less integrated. I tend to be more unskilled in awakening with my son. And I tend to be more capable and integrated when I'm coaching kids soccer. So I'm going to give a couple examples here. Let's see. Did I do this right? Hold on. Nope. Okay. I've lost the animation. Okay. Well, we'll just go through this. So, for example, with taking ownership for one's feelings, I'm going to give you the example of my son. In the first phase when I am unskilled. So starting when my kid was very young, I would come into his room to try to get him up at 6:30 in the morning to get him up for class. I would say, hey, it's time to get up. And he would say, Dad, go to hell. So in my mind at that point, when I was unskilled, I would start to blame him. I would blame him. I would say, I would say you shouldn't have stayed up late playing video games. It's all your fault. In my mind, I would say that. I wouldn't say that out loud. And then I might be blaming myself too. For example, why did I buy him video games? Why do I even have internet access for him, as an example? So that's the unskilled. As I began that awakening phase, I would notice how, in the same situation, I would notice how unpleasant it felt to be feeling this way towards my son or towards myself, and be able to name things like anger or frustration or upset or disappointment. And I can name those things. However, I still don't know what that means. And then as they get older, I would start to practice more and more. I would start to practice really self-empathy. So I would try to tie myself into sensations, feelings, needs, and then try to cultivate through that, getting in touch with my needs, my intention to connect with him as a young person, and try to develop warmth for myself and just to be in the present moment. And as I become more capable and I get more in touch with that, I can be more calm in general, be more calm and more connected to my needs. And then finally, when I'm fully integrated, I'm now living it, I embody the practice of self-empathy and self-responsibility so that I understand that my reactivity, my anger, my concerns are all based on my experience. So I'm going to pause here for a moment and see if there's any questions or see what's coming up for people. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. So you can raise your hand for a question. Excellent. Okay. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Okay. Let's see. Screen again. Here we go. Okay, let's see. So here's the tools that I like to use for identifying or grounding myself. This question I actually learned from a trainer out of Minnesota named Yvette Erasmus, which is, what is mine and what is yours? And this is the first question I ask whenever I start to get activated now. So I like to think that I'm in sort of the, what's the word, capable stage, which is really the practicing stage. So my practice is whenever I start to get upset, to ask, what is mine and what is yours? It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, whether it's my boss or a customer or a teammate on my NVC Day 1 team or someone in NVC community or an NVC trainer. I ask, what's mine and what's yours? And for me, because I believe in taking ownership of my own feelings, I always say that it's mine. I always say that. I still ask myself the question, but I say this is mine. I got to figure out what's going on here. Where does this feeling come from? And then this is the specific tool that Jim and Jory like to teach, or this is the way I've learned it from them, which is after I notice that there's some blame for myself. And by the way, I'm not necessarily blaming myself, but one way you can notice what's going on is we can shift from blame to something else. We're going to transform blame. We could say, I'm feeling angry because you, my son, went to bed at 2 a.m. and now I have to force you out of bed at 6:30 a.m. for 7 a.m. class. When I do that, I hear that, I hear myself say that, I feel because I'm saying this is your fault, but now I'm going to look for my own needs and say, well, I really want well-being and rest and kindness and all of these other things. And then I transfer that to needs. But I feel sad because I really need well-being and rest and health. And in this way, I've actually transformed the need to my own need, my personal need, instead of because of the other person's behavior. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to make this into a practice. So let me pause for a moment. Well, we're going to explain the practice. Let me think for a minute. Let me go back this. Although I think most of you are actually experienced in NVC, you've probably seen this in some form. What comes up, I'll give a moment to ask what comes up for people when you see these tools. Is there any questions that you have? It's so clear. This is so awesome. And I slowed down. Okay. There we go. Let's go to the next thing then. So what I'd like to do is, oh, that didn't work. Oh, you want to see the slide again? Absolutely. Let me share the slide again. Let's see. There we go. So here's the tool. So what I'm going to do is in just a moment, I'm going to put you into breakout rooms, and I will, just before I do that, I'm going to put this into, oh, actually, first of all, I'm going to put it in the chat so that you have it. And then I'll be sharing my screen with you in your breakout rooms so you can see this particular tool. Okay, so it'll be available to you. Okay, so we're going to put you into breakout rooms of 3s or 2s. And what I'm going to ask you to do is think of a situation. And my situation, a specific relationship, partner, child, parent, boss, subordinate, person on the street, shopkeeper, stranger, whatever it is. Think of that. Think of a situation maybe where you were triggered in some way or felt a strong emotion. And then notice where you were in the levels: unskilled, blaming, awakening, noticing, capable, practicing, integrated living. And then identify the unmet needs and more than the unmet, identify the unmet needs. Okay, so you're going to find where you are in the progression. Identify the unmet needs, more in the unmet needs, and then celebrate where you are with awareness. Okay? And then you're going to use these tools on the right. And this is the slide I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to cut and paste it into the chat. What is mine and what is yours? If you want to, you can notice the blame. And then you can transport blame to feelings and needs. I feel blank because I need blank. Shifting from the other person's behavior to my own needs. Are there any questions regarding this exercise? Rena, if you could call on people, if anybody comes up, I'm going to be cutting and pasting in this moment here.
Yes, sure.
How many minutes would you like for Eric?
Let's see, given the amount of time we have, I would say let's do 15, let's say 15 minutes. Let's do 15 minutes let's do 15 minutes with a, and then tack on a minute countdown. Yes, Elizabeth, that would work too. Okay, here we go. Any questions before we go into breakouts? Okay, thanks for letting me know
Don't
you're
see any
stepping
hands
away.
up. Mhm.
Okay. How are we doing, Lori?
I think they're all set. There's 1 or 2 rooms with 2 people. If you end up in a room by yourself, just know that I'll notice it and I will get somebody into your room or move you into a room with others.
Great.
You ready?
Rena, could you monitor time and give people 5-minute warnings, 5, 10, and then, thank you.
I'll do that.
Okay,
Okay.
if you're ready, Lori, go ahead and open up the rooms and we'll be here to answer questions.
I think Annie's just got assigned. Okay. How we doing, Abby? Go to the end.
Yep. The Dolly Abbey.
Go to the
We have the
end.
Dolly Abbey and the Dolly Rena.
Rob. Need to move Rob. 14. 14. And somebody else. Are you observer? Okay.
Isabel's doing a family thing. Her son just came back from college or something.
Did you notice in room 9?
And room 6 is
Samhita has no
gone.
breakout.
Okay. I'll move.
So I
Carrie
see
has a
Monica
hand
is
up.
here and Carrie is here. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Carrie.
Stick me in
Hi,
another
I'm
room because I didn't have anybody talking in my room.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Okay, Carrie, let me see. I'll move you into a room with other people. Let's see, is there a room of 2? I'll put you 2 in one. So Carrie, I'm going to move you into room 12. Let's see, how do I do that? I have to find you.
Carrie is
Carrie,
in 6.
I'm going to move you to room 2. And I'll put somebody else with you. And it will be Monica. Monica,
Okay.
Monica. What room is Monica in?
I'm not. I'm here in the main room because my
She's in
apartment
room
was
19. I'll move her.
left.
Okay.
Oh, I just moved her to the wrong room. I got to move her to 12. 12, right? What room am I putting in her? 12?
2. 2.
2. Okay, 2. Just throwing people
Nikhilananda is
around.
alone
Hey, there's
in room
Isabel.
19.
Hi, Eric.
Lori,
Yes?
Thank you so much for doing this.
Nikhilananda in
I'm
room
listening to
19.
every
Okay, he's
bit.
gone.
I just like to, there were a couple of times when I was sort of.
Hold on just a second, Isabel.
Rooms.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Just a second. Sorry. Onsa? Wait.
Hi, I work with 2 persons who actually don't want to practice, so I left the room. Can I get another room? Or I don't know.
20. I'm going to put you in room 20, Onsa.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to find where you were.
Onsa's in 11.
I'm going to put her in 20. Move to 20.
Probably
What is that
11.
noise? Where is that coming from?
She
Okay.
should be going now.
Renata? Did you need a room, Renata?
She's
Can you unmute?
equal sign.
Yes, actually, I put an equal sign because it's 2:30 a.m. here in Brazil, but I was in a room with Anne, and she's alone, so I can come back because
I sent Ansa, so she's got Ansa. I don't see Joe. Joe, did you not want to go in the room? Maybe not.
yeah, so I think Anne is alone in the breakout room, so I can go there.
I sent Ansa. I sent another person in there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There's 2.
Okay.
And then let's see what your question is, Isabel. Is that for Eric, huh?
Okay. Thank you, Laurie. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
But I will be with you tomorrow morning because it's 2:30 a.m. here.
Yeah.
And I am very happy to be here with you. My heart is smiling for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Renata, boa noite.
Boa noite, querida. Tchau, tchau.
Ciao. So yes, so my comment was with regards to the breakout room. For people like me who want to stay observers and who end up accidentally in the room, it would help Eric if you could just let him know that if you're in a room where everybody else is silent, to just drop out of the breakout room and come back to the main room so that they can be reassigned. That I just wanted to share that tip. And congratulate Eric for doing this. Thank you.
There is an
Thank you,
observer
Isabel.
in room 9. Does that mean I should move them or I should leave them so they can observe?
And does Jane want to go into a room?
Yeah,
No,
Jane.
Jane's okay. She's in a room on her phone.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the observer is Isabel, who's just here with us now, and then Samvita, we could pull her out if we want and move her to a different room, or just leave her in there. And we could just.
Oops.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I put her in room 35, which is all the no breakout rooms.
Got it. Joe, did you need a room? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, you're on.
No.
Yeah, there we go.
No, not for this session. Maybe the next one. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Suchitra, Suchitra, did you need a room?
Suchitra, hi.
Would you like to go be assigned into a room?
Sure.
Okay.
Room 11.
Thank you. And Jane is good out here.
Yep. She's in a room on her phone, apparently.
Okay.
Trying to figure out which one that is. But yeah.
Looks like everybody has somebody.
As it always should be.
Room 10 is asking for help.
Okay, I'll go. How do I do this? Let's see.
Do you want me to put you in room 10?
I'll go. I got it.
I have to.
Thanks.
Okay.
அது வேண்டாம் அக்கா, Francis. அது வேண்டாம். அந்த இது வேண்டாம். இப்ப beef இருக்கு தானே?
So we're at 7 minutes. Did they get a message yet? Or
I
we've
did.
been so busy.
I sent a message.
You're awesome. Boy, it
A
takes
little
2
late,
people.
but I did. I got. Jane,
takes-
Jane, do you need help?
Oh, she's in a room, but
Ah,
on her phone
on the
only.
phone. Okay.
I would know if I could find Jane's phone. I would put her in with her phone.
Hi, could you please put me in room number 9?
Room number 9.
9.
Samvita. Samvita. Number 9. I have to find her. Does anybody see her?
Samvita was in no breakout.
Was she?
1 minute, I'll also look.
There
I'm
she
right
is.
here.
Move to 9. Here you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
I forgot to tell people to emphasize that we should celebrate awareness. I'm gonna send a message out if I can figure out how to do that.
Do you want me to do it? Broadcast a message?
I got it.
Okay, cool. Oh, somebody just came. Bartos, would you like to go in a breakout room, or there's 4.5 minutes left in an exercise? Do you want to go observe, or do you want to stay here?
Okay, I can go to breakout room.
Okay, I'll put you in a room with 2 people and just let them know that you're just catching up.
Okay.
It's such a luxury to have 2 support people at once. It's amazing.
It's hard with so many people. You need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the rule should be at least 1 per 50 or 1 per 30 or something like that. Wow, this is the most number of people I've ever presented to on Zoom.
Eric, I kept the recording on.
That's okay.
Maybe.
I won't say anything bad about Jim and Jory this time. Oh, here comes Ranjitha. Hey! So just so you know, so people who will be watching this recording, I hope this will be hilarious to them in some way. So I actually did get some virtual reality goggles, which I had not been buying for like 2 years. I've been waiting for the technology to mature. And I got them and they came a day early, which was awesome. So Wednesday, I set them up and I started playing this fitness thing. I immediately pulled 2 muscles in both my legs, on the back of my legs, 2 muscles. And I was like, oh man. And I went to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night in just so much pain. I got up, I had some egg salad, and then I took some pain medication and I went back to bed. And so now I've been on pain medication since I bought the virtual reality goggles to exercise. So anyway, but go ahead.
Well, welcome to Xenia. Everybody's in a breakout, but they'll be coming back in just probably 2-3 minutes.
Hey,
Thank
Xenia.
you. Hi, Eric. Thank you. Eric,
welcome.
Eric, please take a look at your chat.
Uh-oh, chat? There's chat for me? Okay, 1 second. Oh, that's not chat. What is this? Where's the chat? Oh, there's the chat.
I thought I'd let
Okay,
you know.
click on Jane, click on breakout rooms, Jane, and you should be able to go back.
Maybe they might not have me back. It's too late,
we'll
isn't
find
it?
out.
Is it too late? Okay, where's breakout rooms? I'm so sorry. I just made a right mess of this.
It's quite exciting. It's quite exciting, isn't it? It's just another opportunity to learn and grow.
Sorry for interrupting. Why don't you guys carry on and I'll just sit quietly if that's okay. Like, I don't see where the breakout rooms.
No, you have to tell us a funny story now that you're here.
I have too many. Like,
okay. Well, maybe you could tell me what's coming up for you in this, what's useful or not useful to what's going on today in this thing, in this specific thing that we're doing right now, the presentation.
Yeah.
Is there anything that was particularly works for you? Anything you've learned?
Yeah, I'd love to.
What are you bursting to tell me?
I'd love to tell you. Well, I joined this morning. So I'm in near Melbourne in Australia, and I joined this morning at 11 a.m. our time, and I just got really overexcited about how cool it was and the interactive stuff. So then I started sending the link to all my friends and everyone and insisting that they join right now. So, you know, cheesed a lot of people off, like, oh, go away. Then I had to go to singing group, which was a beautiful thing for me to do, but I felt like I was dragging myself away. And then I've just come back in, Eric, at the start of your session. But somehow I realized I hadn't settled in. And so that's where, you know, I started clicking around on my phone and my laptop and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, so I missed out on actually sharing and hearing the other people in my breakout group. To be honest, this is just fantastic. I love the, you know, I love the slide information that's being shared. It's brilliant and beautiful, and I will certainly be banging on to all my friends and people to check it out.
Welcome. Thank you, Jane. Thank you for sharing. Let's see, is everybody almost back?
Yeah, they're coming back. Almost a few more people coming.
Okay. Thanks for sharing, Jane. Let's see.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you bet. Okay. Just noticing we went from 101 to 81, so I'm not sure what happened there, but welcome back, everybody who decided to stay. Okay, so if you're familiar with NVC activities, this is the time where we harvest. So the way I think of that, what is it you're bursting to tell people? What did you learn? What did you not learn? What were your needs met or unmet? And I go ahead and raise your digital hand if you'd like. And I'm going to have Rena call on you.
Hey, Man.
If that you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you unmute? Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hi, Rina. Really, I miss you. I love to see you here. Thank you. For me, first of all, I'm appreciating too much the exercise. Really, I enjoyed with my partners. I have the feeling of sharing. The needs which is already met is sharing and connecting. And also the feedback of my partners was good for me, even for my direction as well, because we are sharing our experience together. It was really very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emma.
Holly? Holly, would you like to share next?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, that was a wonderful experience. My partner helped me really get in touch with my frustration when I was in the blaming way of being, and really focusing on the need that was not being met, and able to then say it in a way where I feel because I need, and that was very supportive. I felt very supported by this. Unfortunately, she didn't have time to have her turn, but it worked for me, and she felt satisfied to help me. So it was a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly.
There are no more hands up.
Yeah, I would like to ask if there's anybody else. There's Jan. Go ahead, Jan.
I would love to share that I had a beautiful experience with Annie. She held a really nice space for me to explore the questions that you had put up, Eric. And sometimes such a seemingly simple process, it lets me process one step at a time what I needed to go through and discover something really beautiful about myself. And just having any whole space for me was just wonderful process. I want to thank Annie for that, and thanks Eric for setting up the questions.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. What I'd like to do, Annie, did you want to say something? I saw you flash on. Nope. Okay, good. Is there anything, I'd like you to just take a moment, let's just take a moment and think about where you're at in your awareness, whether you're aware that you are awakening or capable or integrated. I truly believe that everybody who is here is in one of those three. None of you are in the unskilled phase. Although I'll bet well, let me rephrase that. For me, I can be quite unskilled when I am dealing with my parents and they're telling me what I'm doing wrong with my life. So I think that I can be quite unskilled at times, and I can mourn that. But most of the times I'm at least awakening or capable with my parents. I'd like to be more capable than I would. So I can mourn that, but I can celebrate that at least I have that awareness, So I'd like you to just take a moment. We're just going to take 1 minute to think about where you're at. Think about whether you're in the awakening, the relationship, the awakening, the capable, or the integrated level. Just think about that. Just hold it in your mind for a minute. And just think about how great it is. Just really celebrate and think about how awesome it is of your current awareness. Let's just celebrate and savor that. So we're just going to be silent for 35 seconds. When you're ready, come on back. For me, it's very, very important to celebrate our awareness, because awareness is the first place to start. And once we have awareness, we can start to take ownership of our feelings and really understand that we alone are the cause of our feelings, and that the other people are, that those stimulus are not the reason, but because we have these unmet needs. I'd like to take the next few minutes. We have about 6 minutes left for any feedback that you have for me. Is there anything I specifically did or said that contributed to your learning, number one? Number two, is there anything you would have liked me to do specifically that would have supported your learning? and I'll take needs and met and unmet as well. So who's got their hands up, Rena?
There's Iman.
Ah, thank you.
Hi, and Jennifer.
Yeah. Actually, I love this table you did for us now. I feel it very practical. And maybe I will put it in front of me all the time, just to think, where am I? And this is for me is a very nice awakening point. I feel I'm very beginner in the MVC. So I'm between most of the time I'm in the awakening point. Okay. But I hope to go for the capable and practicing more. But I'm always catching myself doing the wrong thing sometimes. And I'm getting myself back. And I'm trying to think, what's my feeling? What's my needs? What's the others' feelings? What's the others' need? So this table is very nice. Thank you very much for giving us such a note to keep it with us. And I'd like to share with you a very little things now that I feel so frustrated because I have to go to work and I am in dead need for being with you, for the connection, for the sharing, for the growth, for the learning. Really, it's very nice. And I hope that I could be there for more long time. I try to get in between to the next sessions as much as I can. I'm thanking you very much from Egypt. It's good morning here for everybody. And inshallah, I will see you soon. And I hope these records also will be available for the people later on I think one time to listen to you is not enough. Maybe I'd like to listen again and again. Yeah, really, because not every time I'm listening, I'm understanding the same way with the growth of the ideas. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm appreciating my time with all of you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Very good. Say bye-bye, Ayman. Take care.
There's
You too.
Wow, we got 3 more people. If you can, it looks like, or 2 more people, I can't tell. Maybe just 2 minutes each, if you wouldn't mind.
Could you?
Yes, thank you, Eric. I'd reiterate that a very practical session, and I love that slide, and I've already printed it out actually. So, because I too will keep it that one that you just put up back up on the screen. I appreciated doing the celebration of where we've got, because in a year I've moved up from barely even knowing I've got a problem to awakening, and just occasionally capable, so that although we've done this that matrix before in the nonviolent practice, I was glad to do it again. So that's really good. And the other thing was, noticeably, the first half of your talk was a bit fast. The second half was much slower, and I could cope. I got a bit overwhelmed in the first half. And so thank you for slowing down when somebody said about it. I appreciated that.
Thank you so much for that feedback, Jennifer. Thank you.
Ching Ching.
There's one other thing.
Okay.
During the during your presentation with the slides, Eric, there was a transcript going on, which wasn't the transcript from the Zoom. So I don't know what was happening. It was a bit distracting, actually. Do you know what was going on there?
I do. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Thank you for letting me know, Jennifer.
Thank you, Eric, for your exercise. I had a wonderful moment with my member groups. And apart from the exercise, we also discussed about the mourning process and celebrating process in the practice. It will be useful for us if you can clarify more for us how to mourn and celebrate in this practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ching Ching. What I'll do is I'll answer your question real quick. Was there any more you wanted to share, or that you're complete? You're complete. Okay. The morning process, it's a great question. For me, morning is about really sinking in and feeling the feelings: sadness, anger, disappointment, despair, confusion. It's really feeling those and understanding where they occur in my body, really metabolizing it, really just letting it flow through my body so that I can get past it and lower the intensity for myself, in myself, by naming it, by feeling it, the body sensations, naming it with the literacy of feeling those needs, with using the feelings words, and then naming the needs. Naming the needs. What are the needs that were unmet? And for me, I can do that on my own, and it's much better for me if I have a partner also to witness it, to support me in empathy guesses, for me, to be accompanied. So for me, it's feeling and processing the painful emotions and then moving to the more life-serving needs. And then hopefully celebrating and learning. And then there's another question. We're going to be transitioning out in just a couple minutes. There was a question in there about for more examples. I think it was from Carrie from Sacramento. Carrie, are you still here? I can't see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Carrie, so the question is for more examples. So for me, I coach soccer. I coach little kids soccer between 3 and 5-year-olds. I'm actually quite good at that. I'm not so good at the 14 to 18-year-olds, but for 3 to 5-year-olds and their parents, I'm very, very good. So I am pretty close to integrated as I will ever be. When I am on the soccer field, coaching little kids for sure, I am fully integrated. With their parents, I'm usually capable or integrated, okay? With high school kids, I'm probably more in the awakening stage. If I'm somewhere between awakening and capable. I'm really practicing, but sometimes I don't know what to do with those high school kids. When I'm dealing with my own teenagers, I can be somewhere between capable and awakening. And when I'm with my parents, I'm back and I'm 11 years old again. That's where my brain is. I am somewhere between unskilled and awakened. So for me, the closer I get to my parents, the less skilled I become. But if I'm in an environment where everything else is familiar, although you'd think I'd be familiar with my parents by now. If I'm in another environment where I'm expert knowledge and it's all logical thing. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Carrie.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So my email address, I'm going to put into the chat. You can email me at nbcday1@gmail.com. Rena, could you put into the chat the links for donating, please, so people have those?
Yes. Yes.
And then
Eric.
Lori, can you drop in this link to NBC Day 1 into the chat? Just so you know, Lori and I and 6 other trainers were candidates to become CNBC trainers. We do monthly gift-based events just like this. You can follow us at nbcday1.eventbrite.com. It's a gift, so you don't have to pay anything to register. And our October event is coming up the 20th through the 23rd. So you're welcome to attend. Several of you have come to these events. We hope you'll choose to come again. And please, please, please do reach out to me at nbcday1@gmail.com. I can get you on the mailing list if you have anything else. And I would like to thank Rena for volunteering and being here for me way in advance. It was really amazing to have someone say, I'm going to support Eric. And then Lori, who always shows up to support me anyway for reasons I don't understand. Lori, also thank you for showing up. And then Jim and Jory. So I'd like to invite everyone to unmute and just make some noise of gratitude as you're donating money to CNBC and emailing me. Everybody unmute your microphones and make some noise.
Thank you so much, Eric. Yippee-yay. Good slide. Yay, yay,
Thanks,
yay.
Eric.
Amazing.
Oh, it's great to see you and hear you. Wonderful.